Hi folks, well you know I'm all about getting work done easier and more effectively for less money if possible. So I wanted to show you an upgrade that I made. Now this is one of my EcoGas trimmers, string trimmers, and a year or so ago I put a different head on this. My son had given me his blade that he had on his Eco trimmer that he no longer needed. So this is the blade that was on here. And it also came with the changed head. It's a different head than oops, sorry about that, than the string trimmer has. As you can see here, it was Eco. It says, I think it says Eco down there somewhere. So it fit with it. Now this blade did pretty well with light weeds, a little bit of woody stuff, but anything heavier, it would bog down. It was not, these blades were just not sharp enough. So I recently came across a YouTube video of a different type of cutting head that basically incorporates the idea of a blade, almost like a saw blade, but it also has chainsaw teeth on it, just like a chainsaw. This is not the brand that I saw in the YouTube video, but when I looked on Amazon, I got a little bit better price on this than the other one. I'm sure they all work about the same. I don't know. This was like a 2-pack. As you can see, I have the other one on the trimmer and have been using it. I can tell you that this does work well. I've cut through at least up to 3-inch saplings with this with not really much trouble. Anything smaller it chops up like crazy. Even the light grasses or little bramble and weeds and vines and stuff, it cuts through very well. Compared to this other one, it's pretty amazing. Also, it is just like a regular chainsaw blade. It is possible to have the teeth get dull and need to sharpen them, especially if you hit a rock or something else when you're string trimming, get too close to a fence or what have you. So what they did, this brand, they sent along a few files that fit this size to hand file it. So I thought that was nice. That was part of it. Now the only thing that I have to tell you though, this is just, what I got was just the blade and the files. It was not this head. You'll have to have a special head. You can't just put these on a regular string trimmer head because it's different and it's not as heavy duty, of course. So you have to have the blade head. Maybe you already have one and can upgrade like I did, or maybe you just have to get a whole new set of housing. The one thing that I did have trouble with this is that the shaft for the string trimmer isn't quite as thick in diameter as the hole, this hole is, in the blade. They did give a couple fill-in washers to try to reduce that, but it still wasn't as perfect as I'd have thought. So when I took this, when the nut was off, and it's a reverse thread, remember, because it's so that it stays tight when it's spinning, I had to kind of eyeball what was centered on here. Once this brass housing here is tightened down with the nut, it's not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. But I had to make sure it was as centered as I could get it on the shaft so that I didn't have a wobbling effect with it when I'm trying to cut. You want it as centered as possible, and that's what I think I've pretty much got there. So it seems to be working okay. And then of course there's a little cotter pin on the end of the bolt there, just for safety's sake, to keep the nut on. But that's with this Eco head. So that's just the one drawback with it, and it could be just I don't have exactly the right parts. The second part of this video, I'll show you this thing in operation. I can't do it one-handed and hold the camera in the other hand because basically you have to have two hands on the trimmer at all times for safety, and certainly with these chainsaw teeth on here, it would be real nasty if you cut yourself with it. So you want to be very, very careful. Keep your feet well back Make sure you're balanced when you're working, that you don't have to worry about tripping and falling. Make sure you don't have any children or animals or anything like that close by, or anything else that you'd want to get damaged, because it's basically a cross between a circular saw and a chainsaw, and you know both of them are pretty aggressive in how they cut. But as far as clearing brush, I absolutely love it. I can cut through so much stuff, and as I'm going along, I don't have to say, oh, that one's too thick, I've got to go get another kind of trimmer, or my pole saw or whatever. I can just keep going, and yet I still have the reach of the string trimmer that I can reach underneath to get at the trunks or stumps of the of the more woody brush, to get it close to the ground, and it just takes it all down. So I'll show you it in operation. I definitely recommend this if you have heavy brush to deal with, if you have a variety of both weeds and brush, thorn bushes, wild raspberries, wild blackberries, grapevine, anything like that. It will cut through no problem. And if you need to keep an area cleaned, or you're cleaning up an area, this will save you a lot of time. So I'm just recommending this, and I'll come back to you to show you it in operation. Okay, I told you I was going to show you this blade in operation. It will take down everything from grass to small trees. This little section right ahead of me has some brush, some briars, some small sumac trees or sumac trees, and some grass. So I'm just going to cut through this. Sorry, this isn't like if I had a GoPro on me, so just I hope I don't block myself out with the camera, but we'll give it a try. So again, as I said, you have to have the cutting deck on the tiller before you buy this blade, because you only get the blade when you buy it. But it's well worth it. Here we go. need to sharpen it again, I guess. It's not quite as sharp as it was when I first got it, but I've been using it quite a bit. I realize that those are only Shumac trees, not oak, but it still does well no matter what the tree, up to a few inches anyhow. So it's definitely worth the investment. Like I said, 2-pack on Amazon. I already showed you in the other part of the video the brand better. So I highly recommend this if you've got brush, anything from grass to brush to weedy bramble, right up to small saplings. You can't go wrong with this. And so far it's worked out really well for me. It sharpens fairly easily, just like a regular chainsaw does with these blades. The kit comes with files that are the right size for this, so I have nothing to complain about. So if you're interested, take a look. And there are other brands available too on Amazon too. I just got the cheaper one. So this will make my job keeping things looking neater around here a whole lot better, a whole lot easier as we live out in the country and do it on a shoestring. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and follow us. Tell your friends about what we're doing, and we will continue to put out videos as we can.